opening line.
We heard it
Pain in the
too.
balls in your mouth.
Oh my gosh.
We
Oh, no!
are live.
I'm an O.
Well, we missed the very first part of that.
We need Andy's.
are live.
We need Andy's dirty laugh again. That was wonderful.
Yeah. This is Soundbooth Theater Live, and this is the DCC Audio Immersion Tunnel Rap Party. As you can tell, we have the themes playing. That means it's official. And already 56 people are watching this stream. So thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with us while we talk about the production party that was, how long did it take us? When we actually started recording, let's forget about getting the script ready and starting the prefabrication of music and stuff. How long?
Gosh, it was well before
Matt had-
Dragon Con.
it was-
Matt
That
had
was
black
at
hair
least-
back then, didn't he?
At least a couple days.
At least a couple days, at least.
Yeah.
But we started releasing September 1st when Dungeon Crawler Carl 6 came out. We had that couple months to give you guys blue balls for episode 2 to come out. And then it was available for purchase, right? And it was every 2 weeks after that. And I was so happy with the way people, you guys really did a good job of not bitching about the serialization. We're training you. We're doing it on purpose.
Oh, I
They
could have.
bitched a little bit.
They bitched a little bit, but I'm saying they did a good job of bitching not very much and not loudly. That's all. That's all. I think it helped that we did the pre-order thing, right? So everyone could at least buy it and know it was coming, right?
We've promised.
We promised. That was a promise, and we.
Or was Emily squelching it all before you saw it? Ooh.
Ooh.
So
It's all mine.
while we're just getting started, I'm going to go ahead and introduce everybody. I am Jeff Hayes, first of all. I'm right here at the top right corner in case you can't see. Right next to me is Richard Smith. He did a bunch of sound effects design, especially starting about mid-season, I think. He took over a lot of it, but it was always under the supervision and direction of Mr. Ahmed Mahmoud, who is to Richard's left. He is our lead engineer here at Soundbooth Theater, and he absolutely killed it when it came to mixing, mastering, directing. Eddy Zak, who is Eddy coming today?
I hope so.
Okay.
I haven't heard from him.
Well, let's, hopefully Eddy Zak will be here. Right next to Ahmed, we have Mr. Ian M. Walker. He played the notorious...
Kevin.
That's right, Kevin.
Wow.
From Dungeon
You sound just
Crawler
like you.
World. Yeah, you do. Right under Ian, we're gonna do a snaky, twisty thing
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Right under Ian Walker is Mr. Gary Furlong, who played a couple of our villains, some goblins. What other? Did we have any other characters? The old
The
guy.
juicer?
You were the
The
juicer.
juicer.
He was the juicer.
Yeah.
He was.
Rolled
You
into some
fought
punch?
through the pain, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He-
bro!
if you guys didn't know, Gary was actually the original juicer.
the
When
very
Matt-
worst.
When Mr. Matt Dinniman first requested Dungeon Crawler Carl on Soundbooth Theater Live, what seems like ages ago,
So much
Gary
fun.
was there with us, and he's the one who took the juicer in the first place, so it was only appropriate, in my opinion, to put him in that role again. He was also, what's the gerbil's name? The gerbil.
Oh, the fucking psycho gerbil.
Damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I just heard the
It's
other day.
Ralph.
Ralph, that's
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
Ralph.
I was
Yeah.
waiting
Ralph
for Matt
the
to
gerbil.
speak
Oh, I'm
up.
so glad you knew.
Yes. Right next to Mr. Gary Furlong is Justin Thomas James, COO of Soundbooth Theater, and also he played Shrek, Brandon, Chris, the announcer for Blood Hunter. He was the chill
God, yeah.
AI. Justin had the second most roles of everybody
And
in the whole
Fred
production.
what was the guy's name? The guy that was peeing.
Yeah, Jack.
Oh,
Jack.
Jack.
How can we forget Jack?
Jack. Yeah.
Yeah, Nicolas Lagrand
remember
is right
anybody's
next to
name.
Justin Thomas James on the way towards me. Nicolas Lagrand was key in getting the scripts organized and put into the new Excel format that we actually started toying with last year, which we may abandon this year, but I don't know. It's a nice system if you know how to use it. If you don't, then you'll get lost and want to stab yourself in the eyes. But
So you're like firing him on live.
no. He's
established this great system, and we're gonna scrap it. So sorry, Nick.
We're becoming a big fucking tech company.
That was worse. I mean, here's Ian, and he played.
This is a rap for DCC and a rap for your career.
So Nick is actually going to be researching a new program that it's not new to everyone else. It's only new to us morons. Final Draft. He's seeing if we can find a better format that's going to be less eye gouging than Excel. Right under me is Mrs. Sin, the famous YouTuber.
Oh no, famous.
She is, of course, the co-host of the cinema segment of SBTL, which will have its own show on a monthly basis coming soon. But that's small potatoes compared to. She is now an official critic, an official movie critic, and her YouTube channel continues to grow, and she keeps making nice, new, great friends in the movie critic community. Yes. Anyway, Sin is our director of operations.
Sin's Corner.
Sin's
called
Corner.
Sin's Corner.
Sin's Corner. Go subscribe now. So Sin is responsible. She's director of operations here, so she has her fingers in every single pie in Soundbooth Theater. Right under her is
who is that guy?
Who let him in?
Someone crashed our party.
Where's the bouncer?
Something like that.
I think he was referred to as the Big D earlier.
Yes, that's right. Big D, Matt Dinniman. He wrote Dungeon Crawler Carl, and it's because of him that we're all here. So let's go ahead and start the applause now.
Yes.
Because
Everybody.
he is the man of the hour for sure. Thank you, Matt, for coming here and existing and creating this magical world. And last but not least, right next to him is Mrs. Andrea Parsneau, and she narrates so many audiobooks that I'm sure all of you have listened to, all of them, every single one, including The Wandering Inn, which is 700 hours of audio total so far?
Is it really?
No, but like close.
Oh, okay. That's so impressive.
Gigantic series. But in Dungeon Crawler Carl, the audio immersion tunnel, she played Agatha. She played the
Bugwing cereal.
Bugwing cereal lady. Anybody else in the cast?
There were a couple incidentals, but it was mainly those two. Yeah.
Mary.
Oh, God,
Frank
it's been a
Q
while.
and Mary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, amazing voice talent, and so we have a packed house of awesome people here today to celebrate the finishing of season 1 of the Dungeon Crawler Carl audio immersion.
Aaron's in the middle of a
I'm still introducing people. Aaron J. Morton, lead composer of Soundbooth Theater, and he did, I don't know, at least 20% of the music in the audio immersion tunnel. There's
Come in.
Can the bouncer just let this guy in? Jesus!
I'm sorry, but you're not on the list.
Thank you.
Aaron has also composed tons of music for us. Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon. What?
There you are.
Oh my goodness.
That's so awesome.
Oh, what perfect timing that was.
Well done.
Wait, that saves a spot.
That does
That
save
was
a spot.
amazing. I love that.
There's another one of these stools out there. So
That's so cool.
Aaron J. Morton is here. That was so cool. That was such a great little surprise.
I have a very, very serious question for Justin.
Okay.
Now that I've learned that he was the peeing fella.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, Jack.
For Jack, how much method acting did you do?
Completely.
He was Jack for a week before he recorded that.
All of it.
He
all of it.
he was peeing while he recorded.
It was
That's why
really
you
easy to
did it.
get into character. Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah. Oh, I love that though.
Thankfully, a demon didn't
Oh,
appear.
Jack. Actually, this is probably a good time to say that I think that there might be 18 plus elements to this conversation. Probably just blanket warning to everybody out there. There might be some 18 plus conversation. Also spoilers.
Tons of spoilers.
There will probably be
Ahmed
spoilers.
has a sticker for that. We can put that up there when we're talking about spoilers, right? We've done that before, haven't we?
Well, I could do that.
Can someone intro Emily while I'm
maybe?
setting up audio for Aaron, please?
No, I've been spending all day trying to make this happen.
this
I
is
don't need
Justin.
an intro. I'm good.
Of course, yes.
Justin.
So below me right now, next to Andy, we have the lovely Emily Labes, who is our director of communications and very much in charge of keeping everybody talking and coming together and communicating. And definitely the DCCAIT would not have been possible without her communication abilities.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
Also,
honey.
she makes sure we behave ourselves, so now we
Yes.
don't like her anymore.
She tries.
She tries. Yeah.
It's a
I
losing
think
battle.
all of the adults here, we try, but we're not always successful.
When there's like 9 of us here, it looks like the Brady Bunch.
Wait, hang on. Should we try to coordinate that?
Well, I'm Cindy.
Nick, that makes you Alice. Nick, you're Alice.
Wait, who am I?
Nice.
Well, that makes sense because in my family,
You're the dad. Wait,
in my
Right.
family,
Okay.
Andy's Carol.
No, you're the mom,
No,
Ahmed.
You're
the mom.
Let me do this. This is the one thing I know. Ahmed is Carol. Andy is Greg. Jeffrey, you are, the dad. Jeffrey, you are Greg. Sin, you are Peter. Matt, you are Bobby. Ian,
No, you
you
have
are
it backwards.
Marsha. No.
No.
Do
Now
I?
it's all gone.
The girls are on the left and the boys are on the right.
And now
So
we
I was
all
Cindy.
fucked.
And then
I'm so
Gary
sorry.
came and ruined
I
it.
didn't mean to take Cindy from you. And
I made
nor
a
did I mean
mess
to
of it.
interrupt. Really psyched about the Aaron surprise. Didn't mean to derail you guys. Let's continue.
That was good. All right. Well, what do we do, guys? Where do we start talking about this production?
Is there a plan?
There isn't a plan. Why do you think I needed all of you here? I
Thank
didn't know
you
what to
so
do.
much for
start
asking,
with
Matt.
Matt?
Thank you so much for asking.
No, actually.
You're the one that sent me alcohol.
Okay.
I did do that. Do you have it? Oh, perfect.
I have it.
Cheers.
I do know a good way of starting this off. Matt, what did you think when I first came to you about the idea of doing kaiju?
I thought that was a great idea. I was like, cool. The existing book is out and it's great, but it was done via Tantor with a different narrator, Joe Hempel, whom I love. But it's more of a traditional straight audiobook, and he reads it. He doesn't do like the Soundbooth treatment. And once we realized that we were allowed to do it in an audio drama form, I was pretty excited about it, especially since it's a really disgusting book and there's lots of cool little sounds and neat little things in it. So I was pretty happy.
Right. And so did you think
And you said I was going to get Andrea to play Banksy, which I was, and I love Andy, so I was pretty excited about that.
Oh, I love you too.
Hi, baby girl.
I love you, Emily.
You guys worked on a project together
Before the Dominion of Blade,
right? Yeah,
that's correct.
An award-winning project. In fact.
Independent Audiobook Award winner. What?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I was stoked, to even do that. Is that Eddy Zak down there? Hey, Eddy Zak is here. All right, real quick, we'll intro him, and we'll definitely bring him back to question him more about the music, because that is one of the definite big talking points of this season of Dungeon Crawler Carl. But Eddy Zak probably composed, I don't know, at least 50% of everything, of all the music that's on the first season of the Audio Immersion Tunnel. So everybody, please give him a big hand. He did an amazing job. Yeah, it's a big reason that it has the feel that it does. So, Kaiju, what was your confidence level of us being able to pull it off properly?
I was pretty confident. I don't, a lot of people don't like audio dramas, so I was a little worried that a lot of people aren't going to listen to it just because of the nature of what it is. I've always liked them. I used to work in a daily newspaper, the night shift, and I would listen to old audio dramas all night long. I had found a website that would play all the little orphan Annies and ones like that. They were great, but so I was pretty excited to get it done, and I knew you guys could probably pull it off. I mean, I didn't have much confidence in you, Jeff, but I knew like you had like other people there.
Right. I mean, they're all around me to prop me up and make it seem like I know what I'm doing. So it's very convenient. But I remember when I was doing Kaiju that I loved it so much, and all I could think about while I was doing it, though, was how awesome Dungeon Crawler Carl would be in that format. We were just a little worried about the rights thing. And but we got some consultation. We looked at the contract, and it says audiobook specifically, and if it's not specifically taking away audio drama rights, then we just figured, hey, let's just absolutely make sure that the script is different, that we're going to add things, that we're going to take some things away, that we're going to change things up just enough to where you couldn't possibly argue that it's the same product as the audiobook. Whereas with Kaiju, we didn't even really need to do that, so it made it a little bit easier to enter, right? Because the contract itself that Matt had specifically said not the audio drama rights. So we were like, okay, this is
and that's because Tantor owns graphic audio, so the
rights, we for the fans. Yeah. But I love the question of how do we get Patrick Warburton? Honey, that was an email.
Yes, it was. That was the rest of the team is Jeff's auto-tune. William Letson, the mystery man.
Hey, Bill.
Yes.
Hey, Jeff, can we go further back and ask Matt, or have you already covered this? What did he think when you first approached him for Soundbooth Dungeon Crawler Call in the first place, not the Immersion tunnel?
Well, pretty sure he came to us first.
You did?
Well, sort of. So he asked. He requested. Get out of here. He requested it on Soundbooth Theater Live.
Oh, nice.
And after he did that, and after we performed it, I was like, we have to do this.
Yeah.
Now we just have to.
I'd been a fan of Soundbooth Theater for a while, and I knew right away that Jeff would be a great fit for it. So when he offered, like when they decided to do the Soundbooth Theater Live, that's still up on YouTube too. It was like the first thing they ever did, and they were reading it cold. I knew right away that they were a good fit, because it was important for me that someone that could read it and actually understand what I'm saying, plus be able to, pull it off. And he did a great job. So I was pretty excited.
Yay. Nice. Thank you.
So 6 audiobooks and then 2 audio dramas later. We're totally Team Matt Dinniman here. Dungeon Crawler Carl has this second production of book 1, which I'm so happy. On the Reddit, I'm seeing people argue about which one is better, which is exactly what we wanted. We want you guys to be at each other's throats.
Yes.
Even though we know there's no question though, right? About which one's better. We know.
I mean, I know. I can't say.
Because I wasn't in the first one.
It would be irresponsible for me to say which one's better, because
Ooh.
This is a good question.
It's like a parent weighing in.
Right? Yeah, I can't do
on
that.
which child they love more.
Exactly.
I wasn't in the first one.
The answer is the prettier one, but So tell us about Kaiju. like the feel and everything. I mean, like I'm super curious about the author's experience listening to it, and I have you here.
What is the mouthfeel, if you will?
Yeah, the mouthfeel of Kaiju the Field Surgeon, especially the donkey scene. I really want to know the mouthfeel of, or both donkey scenes.
Yeah.
Compare them.
That's a good
There's
question.
two donkey scenes. Yeah.
How do they compare?
Yeah, but I seriously, like, it's kind of like, you know, how does an author feel about the movie that was made about their work, right? I mean, like with an audiobook, it's kind of like, did they read the words? Okay, you know, most of the time the authors don't really have a big opinion about the audiobook itself.
Hey now, that's a generalization I think we want to steer clear from.
But like, I be super honest and just like rag on us however you want to, or say good things, whatever you want to do. But I'm curious about like what it does how it does compared to your vision, compared to like how you're seeing things. Are we evoking the same images?
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting question, because it was something like Kaiju, where it's a standalone book, and
Boo. Sorry.
It's not really a standalone book. It's a prequel to Dominion of Blades, actually, but that's
Okay.
a whole different story. But it's cool, because I usually don't have too many preconceived ideas in my head. But usually what happens when Jeff does something, which is one of the reasons why I like Soundbooth Theater so much, is he's pretty close to what I envisioned in my head when they're doing stuff. And the casting is almost always on point. Almost. I mean, not when they, you know, certain like Justin Thomas James stuff. But other than that,
He's a problem.
Screw that guy.
Boo!
Canadian.
no,
Yeah, he's Canadian. He won't fight back. It'll be fine.
Sorry
I'll
about that,
fight
Matt.
for him.
I'm so
I'll
sorry.
fight for him.
I'm so
He's
sorry. I
apologizing.
disappointed you.
Fuck you.
oh man, I can't wait till you meet Mordecai in book 7. Anyway,
I love
No,
the
still-
barrier. I love the Patreon barrier for me. I love that there's so many fans out there that know more about what's about to happen and more about the toils that I'm about to encounter when I start narrating book 7. So
You know,
y'all,
there's like a
no-
very
no
easy
spoilers.
answer to this. You could just subscribe to the Patreon.
No, I refuse. We pay this dude way too much already. No way. No more monthly payments to him. No. I'm putting my
the
foot down.
$3 a month. Okay.
But what do you have on that?
I have been on no fewer than 4 calls this month where people have asked me, do you know Matt Dinniman? And I always wish I could say, no, he sounds cool.
Jeff,
Okay.
you're putting your foot down.
But to
is it-
finish my question, like, so with Kaiju, you know, that was cool. But now I can't get his goddamn voice out of my head when I'm writing. So I hear that's why I keep wanting to make new characters, so I don't have to like kick them out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we like a Gary plus Matt combo might be awesome. For instance.
Yeah, that would.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I love.
don't
I
know.
firmly believe that Gary should and can do everything.
That was beautiful.
Anything we can have Gary do, we certainly should.
Yes.
Everyone here knows how I feel about Gary.
Y'all
Yes.
go sub
I'm
to
in.
his Instagram page.
Oh.
Go do it.
Oh yeah,
Go do
please
it.
do.
Please.
So
do.
much fun.
It's hilarious.
We just talking shite all day.
Yeah. Very good at it. So let's get some opinions from Ahmed. Ahmed, tell us about Kaiju. Tell us about when we first started that project. What did you think about it before we started, and how were you feeling through the process?
Just before he answers,
Oh,
may I ask why we're talking so much about kaiju in the DCC wrap-up?
Because kaiju was like our testing ground.
Yeah.
With,
It's our
like,
origin
us-
story.
All right.
Kaiju is the
getting
origin
ready
story
for
for
Got it.
DCC.
Good
The
question for
superheroes.
context, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, this is grimy. This is like real. Because the first thing you gave me was his conversation with Anatoly. Was that the guy's name? Anatoly?
Oh, yeah.
And he takes him to the room and he totally like kidnaps him
Yep.
in like a nasty way. And I didn't know where that was going. I was so excited. And then it just turned into this completely absurd ride. It's just, but it was great. I like the way that he mixes genres. He has a very interesting way of writing, and he brings out drama in a very interesting way. I think I mean on you, Matt. I think.
Here's
But
the
yeah,
story.
it was plus the performances were absolutely excellent, man. Like, Jeff does good work. I think that's pretty much it. And then of course Aaron did the music, and that was like awesome. Is there a cat? There's a cat.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's
Oh, no.
kidding.
Sorry.
Sorry.
The
No, it's fine. It's
no.
fine.
It's
It's
all
fine.
It fits. It fits. No, it fits.
ASMR
It
purring.
fits with what we're talking about.
It's
No.
on theme. It is on
It's a
theme.
sound.
Should we have a donut moment to celebrate the cat noises?
He's my little six-fingered monster. He
Okay,
is
now-
usually
now- Here's something, a little bit of trivia. So Donut originally was going to be Annie, right?
Yeah, that was the
and-
plan from the beginning. If you guys don't remember, at the end of book 1, we threatened that we were going to do the audio immersion tunnel. We weren't calling it the audio immersion tunnel at the time. But, my thought was, oh, great, perfect. Annie's going to, replace Donut. We'll have a better Donut. And, we started talking about that in public, and I feared for my life from that point on.
Yeah. People did not want Donut to be changed.
Nope. Impossible.
Which was really interesting because I've seen this before as well, where audio drama adaptations are made. There was one that was done for Expeditionary Force. R.C. Bray did the narration, and then they had like a full cast and everything. I think Bill DeFries led that one, and the R.C. was playing the main character and Skippy, the sidekick as well. And that's pretty much what happened here with Carl and Donut. Just got to be the same voice.
Yeah, I had to be the duo. So thanks, guys, for making me do more work. Really appreciate it.
To this day, I get people coming up to me and ask me why Annie's not credited on the earlier books, because they think she is doing Donut. And they don't believe me when I say that Jeff does all the voices.
We've had that problem before. Seriously, there was a title Jeff did. I think it might have predated everyone here besides Sin, where we got flagged, or I should say they got flagged for not crediting the female narrator because they did not believe that it was all Jeffrey.
Yeah, that was before anybody. That was like I was running solo at that point. That was Witch for Hire, and it was 80% female narration, and I was just auditioning for the male part, but I was like doing the female part anyway, just for the sake of listening to it. And she's like, "Okay, I want you." I was like, "Okay, cool. Who am I partners with?" She's like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "No, what?" But it was money, so I had to take it. I couldn't, at that point in time, I was, working at 80 hours a week and, on like $1,400 a month. So I had to do it. But hey, it helped me. It helped me get good at it. So you guys can thank Witch for Hire. That
Yeah,
So
Annie
Annie
Connelly. Woo!
Thank you for being a witch for hire, Jeff.
Yes. So we have maybe our very first like actual live donation from somebody.
Well, that came through on mine. Can you put it back
Oh,
up?
that came through on yours. Okay.
Yes.
Good. It's not. Then we don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, but it's a question from Matt, and he
Yeah, it
knows about this story. Yeah, it was a question from
So
Matt darling.
I was
could you
wondering what
just-
that $4.99 was.
Yeah.
He was saying he clarified that it was a typo in his question, releasing a chapter. So he was asking, thanks for releasing chapter today. May I ask?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I can't see.
I can see that. May I ask you what moment in the production sticks with you across all the different productions?
Project.
Well, there's a couple different ones. In all of the audiobooks, like the regular version, the Jeff version, probably there's a scene in there's a scene in book 5 when Donna confronts Beatrice, and then there's a scene in book 6, and that one was with Patrick Warburton and Travis Baldry, and I knew we were getting them, so I had to write a scene that involved both of them, and I knew that Jeff was going to have to direct, them doing something, which is pretty fun. But in the audio immersion, which we were talking about,
it was amazing.
The
best afternoon of our lives. But continue.
I don't know what episode number it is, but it's the one when the Ball of Swine intro music, and then that whole scene.
Episode 4.
Yeah, that music is just, it's amazing, and it mixed so well with the scene, and it's exactly how I pictured it, like this crazy roller rink playing, this crazy techno music, and then them all having to deal with this giant rolling ball of pigs, and it was captured so perfectly well, and it was just awesome.
So
nice.
Yeah, let's get. We can take some more questions from the audience. We can keep blathering about the production of DCC. So we started the immersion tunnel like the beginning of last year. I started making notes, pulling out all the different sounds that we wanted to prefabricate, pointing out all the music that needs to be composed. By the way, I had like 20 tracks planned, and we ended up with 40? like so much music. And
plus.
For the first about 5 seconds, I was like, this is too much. And then everything.
This is too much. It's too much.
It's too much. This is too much.
That's got you.
But then Ahmed kept showing me all this amazing music he was getting Eddy to do, and I didn't have the heart to stop him. I was like, this is all so wonderful. What is happening right now? So can we? Yeah, here's Eddy. Eddy, can you tell us about your experience making music for the Dungeon Crawler Crawl Audio Immersion Tunnel?
You're a madman. First and foremost, absolute honor and a privilege on so many levels. It was a blast. Fell in love with the characters, of course. Kudos to everyone involved. Bravo, guys. Killer. Absolutely. I'll toast to you guys first, actually. Great job, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. So, Jeff, what you're saying is it became a runaway ball of pigs.
Yeah, so
that's your piece, Ahmed.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. But you played guitar on it.
Yeah. So what did you think when Ahmed first contacted you about it?
Sounded really ambitious, and I just wondered how we were going to pull it off. It's crazy. That's all, But his guidance and wisdom through the whole thing, for me particularly, because I was freaking out on a daily basis.
Putting music to narration is very challenging, and it's there's a lot of things that we learned, a lot of pitfalls. It's because it's not, when you're dealing with a motion picture, it's I feel like it's easy, right? Like you put music, and then you have an image. Mm-hmm. But if you have a voice describing to you what's happening, then there's a whole other dimension to complexity and how you're going to approach it, and where you're allowed to have it, where you're not. And we developed kind of almost a science as we worked through it, including something that Eddy picked up, I guess, halfway through the process, which he was like, as he started writing to the narration, he's writing to the tempo of the actual narration, which was that was kind of a revelation he had during the process, and which is really interesting because on the other end, I know Jeff, I don't know if you still do, but you record to narration, not to music.
Yeah,
or like you'll play music, so your narration will have a relationship with the tempo of that music when you do your. So I wonder if it's it's a one-to-one translation, like the tempo of music that you were listening to when you did the narration is the same tempo of the music that ended up on the. But the important thing is there's a relationship between the speed of the narration and certain emotions and how they kind of blend with the music. It's very challenging.
Yeah,
that's really interesting because I didn't even interrupt. I write to music, but I edit to specific music, and then I'll edit it while listening to music and trying to hit those same beats sometimes. So it's interesting to hear that Jeff actually narrates that way as well.
I do sometimes. I've just recently
You're
again.
so collaborative though as an artist. I feel like in general you err towards the side of collaboration. You were always down to like work with an artist, and that would always be your preference as opposed to here's my track, here's your track. I think that would be like an interesting commentary.
Wait, are you talking about me or about Matt?
No, I was talking about you.
About me?
I would always love to talk to Matt.
Okay, you're saying I like to collaborate.
But I'm talking to you.
Yes, yeah. I mean, look, I started a whole
you.
company around that for sure. So
right,
yeah. I mean, that's what the audio immersion
wasn't just
tunnel,
like teeing you up there.
I thought you were talking to Matt. I thought you were saying Matt likes to do that.
I talk to Matt all the time. That's
okay.
not necessary.
Yeah, all right. Gotcha. Yeah, I definitely love working with people. And actually, the music thing, I just started listening to music while I narrate again, and it doesn't inform my tempo unless I allow it to. What I use it for is just morale, like if it keeps me on track. It just keeps me focused on things. And sometimes people get annoyed when they're listening to me narrate live because they're like, what is this music? I was listening to Queens of the Stone Age today and Fleetwood Mac while I was narrating to Chrysalis.
Yeah, nice.
Yesterday.
The reason I was listening to Fleetwood Mac is because I just got a record player and I've been building up my record collection, and I got a Fleetwood Mac record today. So, anyway, but like, I love the idea of maybe season 2 we start composing, putting the music together, knowing what music's going to be playing, and me narrating to that, and then allowing it to inform my tempo. Because that definitely would make things, I think, mesh even better. So speaking of music, for the audio immersion tunnel, for cinematic audio in general, we have Aaron J. Morton right here next to me. He is our lead composer. He did virtually all the music for Kaiju. Was there anything that he didn't do for Kaiju?
Probably not. Just to jump in for a moment here, we have some people waiting in the wings who have performed like other roles on this.
Yeah,
why don't you let me jump out for a minute, bring them in? I'll be back in like 10.
Alrighty.
And we can spotlight those other people.
I can go green room too. I can go green room.
Well, I have to leave.
You're not going to be so lucky. You're not a back office person. This is just for me.
Jeff, I have to leave.
You're stuck, Sam. Love you. Bye.
Let's talk to Kevin real quick.
I've got 20 minutes. I've got somebody covering me for the first half an hour.
You have 20 minutes from now?
20 minutes
from
now.
Can you talk right now?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, talk to us about Dungeon Crawler Carl, how you got introduced to the series, and what it was like to be Kevin.
Well, I've been a bookworm since I was a little kid, but I'd never heard, and I've always loved sci-fi, horror, and that stuff, but I'd never heard of LitRPG until I read or listened to Dungeon Crawler Carl. Sorry, listened to it, Matt. Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I loved it from the get-go. So that was my introduction to LitRPG. And then when Jeff approached me asking if I'd like to take a part in the audio immersion tunnel version, of course, I don't think he'd even finished the question before I'd said, of course, yes, please. But then he surprised me by saying, well, I want you to do it in a Scouse accent, which is the accent of people from Liverpool and the area around Liverpool. I was born in Wallasey, very close to Liverpool, but I never really had a thick Scouse accent because my grandmother and my nan always pushed me to speak properly and excel at English. She was a writer and a poet, and etc. And then I moved down south for 6 years in Brighton before I came over to the US. So my accent softened even further. So I was actually initially nervous because I didn't even know if I could do the accent of my family, my own family. But before I knew it, this voice was just falling out of my mouth. I didn't know where it came from. It all sounded like my family. And all my family have been going on now saying, oh, you've got to re-record all your bloody books in the Kevin accent. And I'm not sure everyone will like that, though. Not everyone likes those accents.
Oh, my gosh, I love it.
So it's been so much fun. I'd actually also been going through, sometimes creative people, which I'm now believing that I am, have some dark days and doubts, etc. And I've been going through that a lot. Being in this booth right here, being Kevin, and especially with having Jeff on camera directing, oh my gosh, it blew all the fears away. And now I'm actually rearing to go. I want to play Kevin all the time now. So thank you, Matt. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Soundbooth Theatre. It's been brilliant.
Well, thank you, man. You knocked it out of the park, in my opinion. You did even better than I thought you were going to do. So thank you so much. You made all of those Dungeon Crawler World segments that much better.
Thank you so much. That means so much.
Yeah, thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
man. So, Aaron, let's talk about music for Soundbooth Theater. So, not only has he done Kaiju, he's done a lot of stuff for the Audio Immersion Tunnel. He's the main man behind the Everybody Loves Large Chests music. God, what else? Earth Force?
Monster Hunt?
Earth Force?
Monster Hunter?
Producer. That's right. Producer. Monster Hunt is when I first met Aaron. So Annie and I, this was our first cinematic audio, Monster Hunt NYC. And Harmon wrote it specifically for me and Annie. He was like, okay, this is about two New York musicians. So go, do your thing. Right? And so we composed all this music, but we weren't sure what to do from there because neither of us are really producers. But then Annie was like, oh, I know Aaron. And so we went over to his place. And how long were we there for? A week?
The first book was literally just 2 days. It was a weekend, and we just did like 2 8 or 10 hour days in there, and just
wow.
There were a couple times where there was like a little break where it's just like, okay, one person needs to work on something or whatever, and everybody would kind of rotate a little bit. For most of it, we were just in a little room in my old house, and it was like the most startup of startup studios, and this is all in the old days, pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
And and then it was book 2 coming along a couple years later that led us into doing this more regularly. And
right. I was like, you know what? So there were so many times where we felt like we had a gap in the music in Monster Hunt, and we were like, it's missing something. It's not quite there yet. Oh fuck, I forgot this particular piece of music. What are we gonna do for this? And Aaron would just be like, oh, I know, and it's fixed, and it sounds amazing. like yes, Annie and I composed the music and performed it, but like Aaron's the reason it sounds good. So
Bravo.
After the second book, I was like, why don't we just hire this guy to do all of our stuff? And it was very easy from there. Even though he stresses us out and comes in with things at the very
sometimes
last minute.
Right.
And we pull our hair out going, where the fuck is the music? It comes in and we're like, oh my God. This is why it's late.
Keeping you on your toes.
Yeah. So, can you tell us about Kaiju and how that project was for you?
Music-wise?
Yeah.
Music. I mean, like we've been talking about, this is like such a psychologically damaging story. It's like it's the darkest thing I've ever written for. And what I loved about it was coming in and saying, okay, well, just because these like shocking things are happening in the text of the story doesn't mean that this is any different than any other well-written narrative where emotions are still being hit. things are exciting, things are scary, things that, you still have to come with that full range of, it's not all just like, like
right.
And yeah, and so like my favorite part though is the song we all talk about. It's like all right, near the beginning there's this like meeting at like a coffee shop, and we kind of want it to be like a little like hipstery, maybe a little douchey, like you get your hipster vibe, like hey, like, and we wrote a song. I wrote a song for it, and I sent it over, and you liked it a lot. And we turned it into the end credit song as well. And that has actually led into one of my favorite parts of doing music here is like the song requests, which we did a few for DCC as well. We had
so
3 for season 1.
Season 1, I think you have. Wait, is there 3?
Let's see.
3. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you count the Coswell commercial.
Yeah.
That's.
Oh yeah. No, I'm still. Let's see. We've got
Cruisin'. Which, by the way, that's probably. That might be the thing about the whole production that's commented on the most. Who did that song? Where is it? I want it. We see that all the time.
You'll have it soon.
At the end of episode 3, at the end credits, but it's also used without vocals when Carl and Donut are riding on the copper chopper through the hallways. So there's that one.
There's I Think I'm Alright, the actual ending credit song, the very, very last one.
Right, the very end after the bloopers. But actually, it fits so well because it's got that friend theme between Carl and Donut, but it also applies to Shrek and Jegbarth, who we should definitely talk about very soon. Do we have
Julian?
Julian?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I didn't have the forethought to reach out.
No Julian today, but he was Jegbarth. So that's
that guy's awesome, by the way.
Yeah, he is.
He's fantastic.
The Coswell theme, and what else?
Well, there was a bunch of incidental stuff, like a lot of score moments, and then I really loved the sports theme.
Yes, yeah. He wrote the
sportscaster thing.
Yes, the ESPN.
Yeah.
When Kevin comes on, yeah.
Yeah. So, tell us about those songs. Like, yeah, this one.
It's my theme.
So tell us about those 2 songs, the 2 ones that especially Cruisin', because everyone fucking loves that song.
I'd love it too.
It's an amazing song.
I spent like 2 weeks figuring it out in my head, and then basically one day finishing it, recording it, producing it out. And but it's like kind of inspired by a few different artists that have sort of either like a bluegrassy or kind of country or roots sound, and I just like really spent the time to like write out a lick song, a licked bass thing, with like, okay, I can play it on the mandolin, on the banjo, on the guitar, and even part of it on the bass. And I had actually never produced a song that specifically had that with stringed instruments. And but like the approach is just like listening to this story and trying to get this is kind of like a Western, similar to a Western story too, because you have this this development where this character is just going and like, I mean, obviously so much that happens in the story is awful. It's very rugged. It's very Wild West in that way, even the aesthetic being different. But since you guys were like, this is the sound we're kind of thinking for this I forget exactly how you phrased it, but it led me into this direction of doing that very sort of raspy, like kind of like got a cowboy hat on between these places, just to, because I love like musical irony. Like everybody talks about things like Firefly, where you have this like very acoustic soundtrack in a sci-fi world.
Yep.
And I think that the key to nailing that is making sure that like the heart of the music matches the heart of the character, even if the musical aesthetic feels different. If you're matching something else on a deeper level, that I think that's why it works.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Eddy's aesthetic through it, and I mean, this is directed as well. Like, I think a lot of it was metal, right? Like, so I was sending over stuff to Eddy as well, stuff that I'd recorded, that I think it's no secret that I'm highly influenced by Primus, by Les Claypool. I'm a bass player, and so a lot of the riffs that are in the series I came up with, but I always had that metal sound in my head for this, right? Like, Kaiju maybe didn't have that, right? I think it was more cinematic, right? More of a score feel. DCC definitely necessitated that dirty, funky metal. And Matt, do you have any comments on that? On like the feel of the theme, like the feel of the music, and did it feel right with Dungeon Crawler Carl?
Yeah. First off, Primus just announced the U.S. tour today, but so we should hit up a spot. But
yeah, we should.
He's buying tickets as we speak.
Also, anybody that's listening to this, go on to Spotify right now and type in Aaron J. Morton, and he has a bunch of songs on there, and some of them are great. There's a song, it's called "Girl on the Vine," and it doesn't have very many listens to it, but it is like one of the best produced, most amazing songs I've ever heard. So just listen. Anyway,
thank you.
Going back to the sound of DC, I always write to music. Music's really, I'm in a couple bands myself, and I always have a soundtrack going on in my head when I put scenes, and I'll put that into the book in certain ways. Sometimes I'll explicitly say it, like this sort of music was playing in the background, and sometimes just by the tempo of the scene, the music that goes around with it should be obvious to people like Soundbooth Theater. And the good thing about everyone on the screen being musicians in one way or the other is they understand that, and so the music that comes out is always on point. It's amazing.
Awesome.
I think we need to give Aaron a very serious warning though. You've got to be very careful. You cannot make any of your music bigger than Donuts Wonderwall. There's gonna be trouble.
Oh man. Okay, so Andy's here. We must have her answer questions.
Me? Me? Who?
Andy.
I am here, indeed.
This person.
I've been enjoying the conversation.
So, Andy,
yes.
Tell us about your experience with Kaiju, your experience with audio dramas in general, and then the difference between that and DCC.
Whatever the hell we do.
Kaiju. So when you're approached by Jeff to help out with a project, and the first time you go in for, like, the first time you meet with him for a recording session, it's like, all right, we're going to have you be like this creature, this like worm thing that's kind of emerging from a thing. So it needs to be like guttural, but also super cute. Can you pull that off? That'd be great. And I'm like, and also it kind of needs to sound like it's being squished like through with it. Could you do that too? Wait, can I have a scream at the end? That'd be awesome. It turned into very quickly, like all of the Kaiju sessions were like these hilarious, okay, what am I going to have to do for an hour this time? Because this is great. It was just one after another weird things to do, from balls of writhing pigs to emerging worm things vomiting up treasure. It was very odd. Great though. Great. Absolutely amazing. I remember one of them was Jeff looking at me and going, I need you to vomit, but I need it to be like if you were vomiting out a car. Like you need to be like, it has to have like weight to it.
How did you research that, Andy?
As opposed to my other ways I would vomit, obviously.
Tell us about the research you did.
Oh yeah, right. It's all method, 100%, wall to wall. But yeah, as far as my experience with audio dramas, I had this big gap between like first I did like audio dramas in school. We had like special like little things where we did like the shadow and stuff in school. Then nothing for the longest time. Then I listened to the Star Wars audiobooks, and then I realized that there were whole audiobooks that had not only music and sound effects, but whole casts of people in them, and that was amazing. And I don't know, I fell in love with all of the aspects. Audiobooks in general are awesome, and I like the variety that audio dramas bring, because I find value in single, but also having everybody working together and the music and the production, it takes it to a whole new level to experience it. And you get to experience this whole new art form with this thing that you loved in the first place. And it's just really awesome. So as far as that's my experience with audio dramas, but and all of that in relation to Dungeon Crawler Carl, I got to be a part of Dungeon Crawler Carl. None of the rest of it. I was just like, I get to play too. I get to do it too. Because Matt and I were hanging out back when in Dominion of Blades days. And I remember Matt, when Kaiju came out, Matt's like, I know I didn't ask you, but here's the thing. I wasn't going to do that to you. Matt literally was like, I didn't want to hurt your feelings by not asking you, but I just couldn't do that to you. I don't think that would have worked. And I'm like, no, fair play. Yeah, no, definitely not my purview. We're perfectly fine. And then when Dungeon Crawler Carl came out and Jeff came to me, like after it had hit and they were going to do the audio drama, Jeff's like, hey, you want to get in on this? You want to have a couple parts and like get to participate? I'm like, is a duck fucking wet? Yes, of course I do. Yes, who do I get to be? And then I got to be the crazy homeless lady Agatha. That was the greatest thing ever. So Jeff's just like, I need you to mumble incoherently, and it's got to sound like she's like chanting conspiracy theories or something. I'm like, done. Absolutely.
One of my favorite things that I've asked you to do is to sniff a wall.
Was that the one where it was Banksy like tracking or something like that?
No, that was Agatha. She was using spray paint on
That's
the wall.
right.
And then she started sniffing the wall.
Oh my gosh.
Incoherently, Andy, I got that direction too. For Kevin, he said I want him to be almost unintelligible. Yeah. I'm like, wow, this goes against all I was taught.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. Ahmed has a word for that. It's called janky.
Yeah.
Janky.
I remember I'd get done with a line and I'm like, I don't think that read right on the microphone. I'll do that again. And he's like, nope, hold on. I'm going to listen to it. No, it's great. It's all sticky and gross sounding. It'd be perfect. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's not at all what I'm supposed to do normally.
Honestly, between you and Matt, like that was, I wept with in the scene at the end with the worm, and it was really his son, and I was like, why am I'm crying over this worm? I'm working. I'm like, what the hell's going? Like that's what I was just. There was like, because the range of emotions that happen, it's just so bizarre.
Andy sold that part so well.
Oh,
I tear up at that scene when I listen to it, and I've listened to Kaiju like probably 3 or 4 times now. Andy, one of the most common questions I see in Dungeon Crawler Carl forums, like anywhere people are talking about it, one of the most common questions is, when is Dominion of Blades 3 coming out? Have you and Matt talked about this?
Hey, Matt. Literally every time I see him, because I'm like,
yeah, you asked him at Dragon Con during the reading. Yeah.
Yep, I give him crap for it all the time. The correct answer is when it's damn well ready to be done. That's the answer. Is when it's ready, because I don't want it before it's ready, because then it won't be as good as the amazing shit he's done before. So I will wait until it's ready, and at that point, it will be the most kick-ass book. And that'll be super fun. And I will wait very patiently until that point. Hello. Okay. Sorry. Kitten. I will wait very patiently until such a time as it is here.
Excellent.
Well, I'm sorry, everybody. I wish I could stay longer, but I have to go do my voluntary work.
Ian, thank you so much for coming.
Ian. Thank you for being here.
Really appreciate it.
Hopefully, Jeff will give you my website. I've only got 4 audiobooks, but I wouldn't mind if he bought them.
Yeah. He's got okay. So the book that I like the most that he did, it's the zombies one.
No, really, that was my first ever.
It was really good though, and also you did the what's the vampire one called?
Okay, the first one he's talking about is called Cattle, and it's the first time I ever had to try and do American accents, which I am awful at. Jeff says to me one day, no, I really love your American accents. I said, really? He said, yeah, that's so funny. Thanks. Yeah.
Oh, can you give us a sample?
I got it back recently when he was doing a British one, didn't I?
Yeah.
Got you back. I said it was so fun. Anyway, so that's Cattle. It's about zombies who regain their intellect, but they still require human flesh. So it's sort of interesting. And then the oldest living vampire. I've done 2 in the series so far. And then the 4th one is Someone to Look Up To. It's the story of a dog's life told by the dog. And I had to do lots of dog voices, and that was fun. So that's it. But thank you for including me.
Ian Walker.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you so much. You can kick me out.
Thanks
All
for
right,
coming.
check him out. Get the fuck out of here.
See you, Kevin.
I'm so glad that you did it that way, because that was the exact next thing I wanted to talk about. Wait, is Ben's going to be joining us soon?
Oh,
right?
yeah. Ben's on his way home. He's grilling right now. Didn't expect to be launched in the stream with no warning. Hi, guys. I'm back.
Hi.
But yeah, Ben will be joining us shortly.
And he'll have, what he has to say about the Dungeon Crawler World segments. But Justin, first of all, like I said, Justin has the most voices in the audio immersion tunnel besides me. But he was also basically a production manager, and he did some directing. He directed Tiana Camacho as she played. She had like 3 roles.
Oh, she was Odette.
Odette
Yep.
is. So he directed her in one Odette session. He directed her for Yolanda.
Yolanda as well, yeah.
And then also he directed Julian.
Actually,
I don't know if I can call it directing, because he was in the session with him and they were riffing off each other, and that's why we have that long extended
thank you, Andrea.
outtakes.
Andrea's got to hit it. Thank
Oh,
you,
bye,
Andrea.
Andy.
Bye,
Thanks
Andy.
for
Good
coming.
seeing you.
Love you.
Bye, guys.
Andy.
Thanks for having me. Bye,
Love you,
everybody.
Angel Baby.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. So
Can we just, before we move on, can we just get a second for Andy? Like,
you mean like mourn her passing?
no.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
And we just let her go?
No. I just want to take a second
gone.
to shout
Did we
out
just
how
let
like
her
this
go?
incredible talent, time after time, can like embed herself in these absurd voice acting, assignments that we give to her, and she just always delivers. I love her. Also,
I will add to that.
on a personal level, go ahead, please.
It's exactly that, and how well she's embedded herself as a pillar of the LitRPG and narrator community.
Absolutely.
She's
Yeah.
You know what?
incredible character.
There's a
And
beautiful
she keeps,
question.
on a
Fiction.
personal level, she keeps me sane, which I appreciate.
Yeah, me too.
And
She gives great hugs too.
Yep, 100%. And she is a delight
best
to work
hugs.
with in the actual booth. Like, directing her
Yeah.
is the easiest thing. And in fact, she
Oh
will
God, I've done it too. Yeah.
she
yeah.
will retake.
Sorry, go ahead.
She will retake when I'm like, okay, that was good. She's like, no. I'm redoing that. And then she's right. She does way better, and it's like, okay, yeah, all right. So
Yeah.
kudos to Andy for being an absolute pro for sure.
Incredible teammate, second best hugger in the LitRPG community after KT Hannah. KT,
Okay.
if you're watching, you give the best hugs.
Hey,
Andy
guys,
is
is it
second.
okay
No,
if I-
we've talked about it.
Is it okay if I play Blood Hunter? I just want to play it.
We would love that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, all right. Play Blood Hunter.
He's back, and he's out for blood. Viscount Fog is at it again, hunting down the dungeon's baddest vampires and making them pay. You already know about Viscount Fog's freaky-deaky origin story. How vampires killed his mama and pappy and left him to grow up in an orphanage run by kung fu nuns. But there ain't no flower power here. They don't call Viscount Fog the predator of predators for nothing. On this season of Blood Hunter, Viscount Fog and his trusty pterodactyl sidekick Sierra are hitting the dungeon streets, searching for bloodsuckers, and of course, prowling for pussy. And it's foggy outside, baby. Ha! Viscount Fog is a real Casanova. He knows how to treat a stone fox when he sees one. Give me some skin, young blood.
Yeah, baby.
Damn right. On this season of Blood Hunter, when the Duke's daughter goes missing, Viscount Fog and Sierra take the cake. They sniff out her trail through swamps, bogs, marshes, and wetlands. They'll have to battle an entire coven of vampires if they want to save her. But can they reach her in time, or will they be too late?
Too late, girl.
There's only one way to find out. So do me a solid. and watch Blood Hunter tunneling live now. And Sierra. Blood Hunter, can you dig it? Right on, brother.
So good.
That's fucking
Is there a
great.
smoother man alive than Justin Thomas?
Not
Shane?
at the moment.
There's three things that I want to say about that. First of all, Jeff and I recorded that from a hotel room in Puerto Rico. And it was on this microphone, which I brought in a suitcase. And probably anybody in the rooms next door were like, what the heck is going on over there? It sounds like there's a fucking pterodactyl in that room. And it was just Jeff going, and he did like 20 takes of it, and it was amazing. Second of all, God, so hilarious. The music and the sound effects are great. I think I forgot the other point that I was going to make. But thirdly, my favorite thing about that is Annie's backup vocals. They are absolutely on point. The way, like, they're so smooth and tight, and I'm like,
They're so smooth, so tight.
It's good. It's exactly what it's trying to be, and I absolutely loved that. Oh, and that was the other thing was, I want this to be a cartoon. I would totally watch this as like.
Hunter?
Yeah, like a
Adult
shittily
Swim or something.
animated- Yeah,
I was gonna say it reminds me of Jefferson Twilight from Venture Brothers.
Oh,
Nice.
Jeff got me hooked on that. You watched that?
I love that show. Okay,
Yeah.
so also Justin was he was riffing with Julian as
Yes.
Shrek.
Yes.
Ben Wolf, of course, is the guy who wrote all the extra segments. He should be here.
Is Ben
very
here?
soon. I don't think he's here yet. I'm gonna cry.
Last I talked to
I'm
him,
gonna
he
cry.
was
He's-
grilling. No, it's okay. It's
Who?
okay, sweetie. He'll be here soon. He'll be here. He'll be here. It's okay, baby. It's okay.
So, but it was his idea. He was like, dude, let's riff on ESPN, Shaq and Charles Barkley, doing their commentary, and like Justin, your Shaq impression is amazing. Tell us about those sessions.
Wait, before you start, can I just say, as the only person on this stream who actually watches ESPN, that it is amazing. Thank you. Continue.
I actually, what's funny is that I don't know a thing about sports. I don't watch ESPN at all. So I researched that role more than I've researched any role, and I recorded myself and I re-recorded myself, and I was like, I don't know why. Every now and then, you get offered a role that you think is going to change your life. This was that role for me.
Listen,
yeah,
when I tell you, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but when I tell you that every year I plan work events around March Madness, so I listen to these guys do commentary for 2 weeks every year, plus the regular season, which, Justin, I mean, it was like next level, because it wasn't like you just did it. You did it, but you made it better because it was clear that you were parodying it.
Oh,
it was
okay.
just next level.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. Well, the script, first of all, Ben did a great job with the script, because the little things, the little Shaq-isms, there's one thing he says, it's just not enough. There were a couple things. It's escaping me right now, but he has a couple little things that he says. That,
not a strong enough word.
Oh yeah, not a strong enough word for that. Yeah. That is not a strong enough word. It's that is great. I can just hear Shaq saying it already. So he did a great job, and that really inspired and made it easy to get into that role. But honestly, also working with Julian. So Julian, oh God, I want to say Childs. That's not his name.
Hey, Smith.
No, that's you,
Smith,
baby.
thank you.
That's you.
My eyes are a little
Shout out
blind.
to Justin's best SBTL role, though.
So good.
So Julian Smith is an extremely talented actor, and we got together and recorded, and as Jeff was saying, like I wanted this with the script. I was like, you know what? Rather than like trying to split it up and do timing, like why don't we just record it together? And then we can kind of get this sort of conversational feel and have that back and forth and maybe riff a little bit. And he's such a great voice actor. His Charles Barkley was so on point.
So on point. I thought it was Charles Barkley when you played it for me the first time.
And actually, funnily enough, credit to Tiana Camacho for actually recommending Julian, because I just emailed her one day, do you know anyone who can do a Charles Barkley accent? And she's like, actually, I do. And then we met Julian. But the other thing was his improv. The riffs at the end, like, I'm doing my best to keep up, but Julian is like improving circles around me. And yeah, he was just an absolute treat to work with. I'm sorry, I'm not crying. Well, I am crying, but I'm not emotional right now.
You're
My
usually
eyes
so
just burn.
stellar at improv, though. This makes me feel like I should maybe make you watch more sports.
So I
More
don't know if I'm
sports?
pronouncing this right, but Saidia MX had a couple of questions about improvisation and writing that I think are worthy of note here. The first one
Oh, yeah.
had to do with the Zev improv with Donut about Gilmore Girls. Was that written or improvised, or like what happened there? Like what was the 411 on who wrote that? And
So that was Ben. And we basically, what I did first was I went on Reddit r/DungeonCrawlerCarl, and I made a post, and I said, for any DCC fans who are also is it Gossip or Gilmore Girls?
No, it's Gilmore Girls, because then no one answered,
Gossip
and
Girls.
then the next
dare
thing you
you.
did, because no
Gossip
one
Girl.
answered, and then the next thing you did.
What? No, people answered. There was a lot of people that answered. So I
know. But then you
then
talked to your Gilmore
then
Girl.
Then I talked to you. Did you talk to Ben? Did you also like? Okay, so
I
it
love
was
Gilmore
a combination of Emily and Reddit that
Mostly
gave us
Ben.
all the material, and then Ben just synthesized it into a conversation between Donut and Zev.
Listen, where you lead, I will follow.
Just FYI, I have never watched a single episode of either Gossip Girls or Gilmore Girls.
I know, and I forgive you for Gossip Girl, but Gilmore Girls
is
like
amazing.
this is a big deal. Yeah, thank you, Gary.
Yeah.
See,
That's
Donut
like
feels the
actually a
opposite,
big
though.
point of contention in our friendship that you haven't seen it. We'll fix it.
I'll have to wait till I'm done with the series because I have a method.
Okay.
Because Carl hasn't seen it either, so.
If you've seen The West Wing, though, I have a lot of insane fan theories that I would love to just drop on you. Not now, but
Like a
you know.
crossover of Gilmore Girls and West Wing.
I don't feel like this is the time nor the place, but like yes,
For 3
There
more
is.
hours.
Actually, in fact, the Liza Wilde, the actress
Sam
who plays
is
Paris
Rory.
on. No, this is real. Liza Wilde, the actress who plays Paris on Gilmore Girls, basically her audition was The West Wing because she talks so quickly that they were like, "Oh, you can be on this show." And so she had a whole arc on The West Wing that she abandoned to go star in Gilmore Girls. I could talk about this for hours. I don't think that's why we're here, though. I see Zombie has joined us, so let's introduce Zombie.
is here.
Hi, Zombie.
Hi.
Zombie is the person that all of you angry people who bought the AIT and were having troubles with it on the app, she's the one who talks to you.
That's
So,
how you guys think of her. I think of Zur as my angel baby for dealing with all of that.
Yes, also that. Thank you so much, Zombie, for dealing with all these angry people, and for making them feel listened to and loved. I'm sure both of those things they feel after
like
coming
Gilmore
to
Girls.
We do
customer
care.
service. So that is Zombie's role for Dungeon Crawler Carl, which has been significant.
So another question here
sure.
was, did Matt, did you have any input on writing the new scenes?
I got the
commercials?
so every scene that's new, that's not from the book, it was mostly written by Ben Wolf, except for the beginning scene with Sam. Well, the very, very beginning where Carl and Sam are playing a video game, and I wrote that scene. Ben would send those in, and I would look at them for a while, but I trusted Ben for the most part to, do what he wanted to do. And I was pretty impressed with a lot of those commercials and stuff. So I did not have too much input on them. I have, commented from time to time. Anytime they have like Carl or Donut actually saying anything, I want to have input in it. That's the one thing where I will micromanage the hell out of anything. But anything else, I love to hear other people's takes on it. So I don't know if that answers the question. The answer is like sometimes.
Yeah, that totally answered the question. Yes, you have input.
Yes.
The question, do you have input?
Matt,
Yes, you
Matt
have
is veto power.
Yes. Which is input.
And if there's a season 2, which, you know what, we're doing this party, we might as well announce it here. It's gonna happen. Season 2.
Wait,
is
never
gonna happen.
Gary did the telenovela stare.
Well,
I mean,
shut up, Emily.
Unless Emily doesn't want it to happen. Unless Emily hates all of you.
It's not happening because of Emily.
Okay, never mind. Emily says no. I can't do it.
Shut the fuck up. I'm so sorry for being the adult in the room. I just think that we should tell the good people at home that we need their help to make it happen.
What the fuck?
Okay. Well, this undermined my plan drastically. Jesus fucking Christ, Ahmed.
I'm sorry, I saw a thing, I shared it.
This is great. Who's the artist?
Zombie, did you do this?
I've been drawing this since the stream started for one of the suggestions of the fans.
Incredible.
You know what it needs? It needs the pop sound.
But I mean,
Like
I do think it's important to mention, like, listen, DCC aside, if you've seen any of our graphics at any other events, that has been Zombie. So, like, aside from this fucking horror show, Zombie has been just an incredible asset to our graphics.
Who doesn't like getting a foot licked?
This will give me nightmares, but I do want to highlight Zombie's incredible talent, not specifically for
This is okay. So guys, I just want to say I'm an old man. Okay, I just wanted to say I'm an old man.
You
and
are.
I'm looking at this picture because it's a little, for me on my screen, it's a little picture, and I'm like, what is that a picture of? So I'm just like, I want to click that because I'm old, and I clicked it, and then that happened. I'm sorry.
Ahmed is currently sponsoring
I had no idea what I was
Nigerian
getting into.
Yeah.
Would I take it back? Yes. No, just pop. There's the pop sound. She added the pop sound.
Oh man.
Perfect.
Very good.
But
Thank
yeah,
you so much.
Zombie, your art has elevated us both as a
Yeah.
brand and like the the fan content you've done has just been so much fun, and we cannot appreciate it enough.
That's Gary. It's Gary. Gary.
Yeah, Zombie. Zombie.
Justin, please keep us on track.
If I can ask Zombie, so
Lick it.
No. Gary, stay on message. God damn it.
By Dungeon Crawler, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lake feet.
All right. Sorry. What's
hashtag? So yeah, Zombie. I'm curious. So your experience, with DCC and the AIT, what have you, seen, with customer support, the good, the bad, the ugly. What's your experience been like, communicating with them?
Mostly, it's been people writing in to ask whether season 2 is coming. Tell us about the problems with the app, which I help them fix, and tell us they want the music.
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
now.
okay.
They're like,
I've
I
seen a
need
couple
this
of those in the
album
chat,
in
too.
my earballs right now.
That's what I want too.
Yeah,
Same.
we're doing it.
Ahmed and I are scheduling a meeting soon about this.
Yes, we are. We are. What? Yes, they are.
I like meetings.
And so that's the stream.
Jeff straight up can't go to that meeting. Now
Oh shit.
Yeah. Jeff has more meetings than he knows what to do with. I think that's
it's
fine.
correct. It's correct. Most of the time when I'm in meetings, I don't remember my name.
No.
Yeah.
Whose
So,
car is that?
you know,
And that's when I call
it's
him
question-
Jeffrey.
It's yeah. She has.
And
to
he's
do
like,
that.
"Is that me?"
Yeah. Oh, that's me. Yeah. Okay. So, all right, we got Rich here, and I want to talk to Rich because Rich has been, first of all, the first big project that was all him, as far as sound effects, is Small Chests Are Fine Too. And holy shit, did he do a great job with that series. And right now you're working on Everybody Loves Large Chest 10, right?
Yep, I'm in the middle of that.
Man, so you have been improving so rapidly. How long have you been with the company now?
Since like the summer before COVID started.
Okay, wow.
So it's been a while.
No, it's been since before then. Surely.
I know, we're all so old and crusty and gross.
I
It's
thought
so
you came
awkward.
around at the same time as
Like 6
Ahmed,
years. 6 years.
approximately.
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
say 6 years.
I remember
Well,
interviewing you
Ahmed
with
got
Jeff.
me the job. So,
6 years.
so I was
I think I've been on for 7, right? The company's 8.
Did you come on 18?
No, we're just now 7. I think we're just now 7.
We're just now 7, so then me
This year will be
6 and
7.
him
We got
5.
some good retention.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, and you know who I credit that to? You know who I credit that to? This bitch. Right here.
Agreed. 100%.
Sick shirt, Rich.
Yeah,
So, can you tell us a little bit, like, just kind of give us a rundown of like what happened when you started, and just give us your journey, your story of Soundbooth theater work.
I mean, I went to SAE for audio engineering. Ahmed, I met him through the teacher I had. He was a substitute once, and he was showing off some of his work. He's like, "Hey, you could, do audiobook
do
work."
stuff like this, kid.
The
kids got potential.
So I after I graduated, I was still like doing stuff at the school. Ahmed was running the podcast club, and then I just asked him, I was like, "Hey, are you guys hiring?" He's like, "Yeah." And I had an interview with Jeff and Sin, and I got the job. I started out doing like proofing, then I got into polishing, and then I moved into sound design now.
Excellent. So, what was your first sound design assignment? I don't even remember.
Oh man,
Was it Virtue of War?
No, it wasn't Virtue of War. It was an anthology one.
Oh, it was a deep man. No.
It was a bunch of short stories.
But wasn't it the stuff we did
Finding
with
Ludus?
Wendigo?
Yeah.
No, it was the stuff we did with
Surviving
okay,
Ludus.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, Surviving Ludus.
Surviving Ludus. Wendigo, we don't have any sound effects. So
Right,
it's the Surviving Ludus, the Delvers LLC
Yes,
anthology.
Blaze, if
Right.
you're watching, we love you.
Yeah, we need to get on some Delver 6, man. That's well, I'm not going to spoil that. But so when you got scaffed, like you had been working on ELLC here and there, right, under the direction of Ahmed, right? So how do you feel that difference? How's that difference feel like from going to being directed by Ahmed to, all right, this is just your wheelhouse now?
Oh, it was stressful because it was like this is a big series, and a lot of people really like this. So it's like, oh god. I mean, I don't know. I mean, probably with when I was working on Dungeon Crawl and like just like knowing like all the people that went to like that panel you guys did, I was like, this, like, I don't know. But it was a good learning experience, and just like trying to like do some problem solving, like how would this thing sound, and figuring out how to go about it.
Yeah.
Rich did these really great sounds for the ball of swine scene. He actually automated a pitch shifter to create a Doppler effect. That was like really cool.
That's
So, yeah.
awesome.
The
That
ball,
was-
the
that's-
ball
that's a
swine
little
was a
bit of
lot
a
of fun to
move.
work on.
I would love it if at some point we had, like, we featured sound effects work more. You know, like the actual process. You know, like doing like maybe live streams of you guys in the studio, like just streaming your screen. You know, going through your libraries, putting stuff on the canvas, and blending them and adjusting them and all that, because that's one part of production that I miss doing is sound effects. It's just so time consuming and I have to shift gears so hard to do it.
Yeah.
But it's one of my favorite things to do. So I kind of like, I want to hang out with you guys more, and I want to be in the studio while you're
No,
doing
no, you
something.
are
been-
one
we've
of
been
our
talking about-
best, but
we've
we
been
need you
talking
doing
about-
so many other things. Like,
I know.
please.
You have other stuff you have
okay.
to do.
Yeah.
Pull it in, Jeff.
A perfect
Pull it
moment
back.
for me to be the bad guy. Yes.
I know.
Yes.
All right, I know. But it's so cool, and thank you so much for everything you've done for all of our productions. DCC, you did excellent. So thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to when we start listening to ELLC, because, well, first of all, I need to get you and Aaron talking, and I need to look at the sets again and fucking remember it, because I narrated it in like October. So
No, but like you remember it. I think it's just we're just talking about jogging your memory here.
well, of course I remember the story, but I need to like get in there and remember, okay, where are the cues supposed to be and all that.
Right, but like you know all those things.
Emily's trying to make me seem smarter than I am right now. This is her job. So thank you for trying. But you're not fooling anybody.
I think it means you're not fooling anyone,
Just-
hon.
I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to. I'm telling you
No,
how
you're
ignorant
fine.
and forgetful I am.
Is this a Jedi thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am an idiot.
I'm not smart.
These are not the droids you're looking for. Yeah, no, fully.
So, who have we not singled out and cornered and questioned yet? I feel like maybe Gary.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I want to
Gary.
hear Gary's story. Yeah.
I think
wanna
it's.
hear
I
Gary's
think
eyeball
I've
story.
been doing so much. of this
My
work.
eyeball story.
Matt, take over. Interview Gary here.
No pressure.
Come on, pull
Hi,
your weight,
Gary.
sir.
And the style of David Letterman.
Hi, Matt. In the style.
Hey, then tonight's top 10 is no.
Yes.
Couldn't
So,
have
if
it.
you were going to ask for more money from Jeff, how would you go about it?
You gotta go to his house.
Okay, Aaron's in top spot right now. We see.
Okay. All right,
So, pretend like you're Aaron then.
Yeah.
Gary.
There you go.
Yes. Sorry.
You've done voices for the cinematic. I would love to hear for you how this process differed from like a straight down the middle narration project. Fuck you, Matt. Thank you.
There you go. Emily's so much better at this than you. Why did you even try, Matt? Come on.
It's so
don't.
different. It's just a straight up narration. Mainly because Jeff is directing you, which is
How
always
does that
an
make it
interesting time.
different? But how does that make it different from when you're just narrating?
Oh, because no one's directing you.
I was
You're
going to
just
say,
stuck
he's
in
got
your
someone
own-
there
There's
telling
no
him, yeah.
friends.
Let it out, Gary. Tell him all the secrets.
And like Jeff does say stuff like try to like pretend you're vomiting up a car, which is funny, but like, oh, I know what that means. Yeah, okay. I'll try to puke up a car. That feels good to me. Or like when we did that, the little, was it Ralph's little gerbil thing?
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I'll be a gerbil, and then I tried one thing. I think it was the kind of like kind of scream, and Jeff was like, "Oh, I didn't expect that. Do that again." Kind of like, it's like an organic process sometimes, and there's a lot of a leeway to do stuff that if it enhances, we can keep it in, even if it wasn't necessarily like in the text, like that exact thing was written.
Sure.
Whereas in a lot of traditional audiobooks, it's really like, no, you gotta say exactly what's on the page. And yeah, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, getting to interact with other people is so much fun. and because we're all stuck in little boxes, but like being able to like chat with someone and bounce off someone and act with someone is the best.
Well, and Gary, I mean, everyone else on this stream knows it's no secret. You're my muse. You're my favorite. I think. No. But all of that aside, I think that you do such an incredible job of like seeing a script and immediately grasping like the emotional origin you need to join from. And so I'm wondering. Oh, well, you're welcome. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it, and I would be slamming you if I thought you were shit.
So Gary, you suck,
no.
right?
So in all seriousness, though, I'm curious, like, how does the process of having those sort of character notes differ from when you are on your own, just seeing a script for the first time and diving in?
Yeah, I think it's a good way of like, so I know how I want to direct myself and I know how I interpret a character. And so I hope I've gotten good at it. But there are times when someone else listens to you and says, you know what, try this. And it's something I've never thought of, which is just like, oh, that's interesting. Yes, I want to try that. I never would have thought of that. And it like sometimes can inform like other performances later on. You'd be like, oh, he said that one thing one time. I'm going to try that in this project as well. So I think it makes you better to have a second set of ears and eyes on your performance to be like, hey, why don't you try this other thing that maybe you wouldn't have thought of? So it's very beneficial to be able to like work with someone like that.
Cool. Well, we feel so lucky to have you. I mean, truly, like your voice acting just enhances every project we have.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
So every time I'm on a project where Gary is also one of the characters and I'm doing voices, I have to listen to his stuff. Like I have to. Like I can't help myself. Like because every time he makes me howl like an idiot.
Yes, this motherfucker acts on every track he's on. He's always acting. That's what I appreciate.
Prophecy approved companion.
That's such a fun book. That's so
that's
fun.
That's one of my favorite series we're working on right now. I love that.
You're definitely bad guy. Is one of my favorite things in the world.
Emperor Palpatine.
yeah. We have to do more Gary centric things. I've always been telling everybody this, but I don't know exactly how to do it. But since Matt has,
I'll go hunt them down.
Matt has showed interest in the Gary goods. So
was it after Franz? Was it the?
Goods.
Gary's
You
good.
know,
Oh my god!
The Northern Irish worm.
Franz the worm from Kaiju Battle. It's one of my favorite characters I've ever written. He has like a little mini arc in the whole story, and you did a very good job with him. So,
well, I think again, like to credit Jeff, I think I wouldn't have done it Irish. I think unless Jeff had said try it that way. Because my instinct is always to lean American, but Jeff's like, no, try it Irish and let's see what it sounds like. And we all liked the kind of cranky Northern Irish, just like, leave me alone, fuck you!
Yeah, well, dude, I mean, that's, like, why not lean into your strengths? I think that's why cast you unless we want your strengths. Boom, there we go. So
you do the best bad guys.
Oh.
I think it might be because you're our nicest one. Like, that's the reason
My
that you
inner
can most
just evil
convincingly
villain
play
comes
the
out.
bad guys, but
if we
God,
do,
yeah,
like
your voice acting.
If we do like book 2 and 3 for the or season 2, I would like Gary to play like the city elves, one of the city elves, like the one that
the one who gets kicked in the nuts and dies.
Yeah.
I'm in.
He's already got it planned out.
I was
That
made
is
for
scripted
this alone.
The city elves are fucking hilarious.
I was born for this.
Oh man. Okay. So absolutely, Gary, you got the part. Thanks for applying.
I've often died as an elf.
Easy.
And so yeah, okay, so we're at an hour and a half on the stream. I feel like we can wrap it up now. I'm very happy with how this turned out. Thank
Ben's
you,
not
everybody.
coming?
I don't know. I guess not.
Still grilling.
He's still grilling.
You know, if it's Brussels sprouts, you never know when they're really done.
That is true, though.
No,
Either
no, it
not
isn't.
done enough, or they're way too done.
If you got them in the tray and it's like starting to get charred, but really, like,
no.
they're
It's
still
not
like
very
hard
easy.
and white in the middle.
No. No, okay, let's talk about this for a second. Hi, have you boiled the Brussels sprouts? If so, for 25, 30 minutes. If you haven't boiled the Brussels sprouts, 400 at 35 minutes. Game over. Done. We're there.
Brussels sprouts are disgusting, and you're all
No, they're
wrong.
not. They're good,
Oh,
Matt.
fuck you. Fuck yourself, Gen X.
No.
This is some Gen X
I will
bullshit.
die on
I
this
will
hill.
take none of.
Bacon?
They have to be
Blue
cooked just
cheese?
right.
Oh my
You
god.
just haven't had them
Yeah.
properly.
We can
done.
all eat them.
No, I've
Yes, man.
had
them and give them an inspiration
butter.
for the
every possible way. I tried them over and over.
Here's
It's
what we've
disgusting every time.
learned. What we've learned from this segment: Matt has the palate of a 6-year-old. Gary, you're incredible. Thank you.
Ben Wolf has the palate of a 4.
Ben will
gosh.
hopefully be with us soon.
He's
I
grilling
wish he
so
would.
many
I
Brussels
was kind
sprouts.
of bummed that Ryan couldn't show up and do the telenovela.
Yeah, I thought Ryan was
Oh,
going
well,
to
they're
make it
together.
tonight.
They're
That's a
together.
bummer.
Do you guys want to
Yeah.
listen to it?
They were so
Yeah.
Oh, it was so
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
so
let's hear
funny.
it.
I have yet to see anyone on Reddit translate this and post it.
That
which
surprises
disappoints
me.
Me too.
They're mostly
So
like,
because
why
it
is
was in
this-
English, Ben wrote that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
like
I
not...
translate, or I could.
You found it?
I
Let's
put it in
crank it up
Spanish.
and play it.
hang on, let's see.
It was,
Isn't it like 3 minutes long?
That's 1.5.
I'm sorry, is 3 minutes too long for you, Matt?
hermana desviada la echó de casa. Ella perdió todo.
That's a lot of
excepto su
Spanish
deseo
for a
That's a different
minute and a
kind
half.
venganza. Se escapó
Dude,
y se unió
the
al
guitar.
circo. Encontró una
oh,
nueva familia.
that guitar.
Finalmente
So smooth.
encontró un nuevo hogar. Pero eso no le
Who did the
quitó
guitar?
su deseo de
Ahmed.
Ahmed, that was you?
Did I do? No, that was Eddie. Eddie.
Oh, this is Eddie?
Is Eddie?
oh, okay.
Encontró una comunidad, encontró una nueva vida, viajando y actuando para otros.
Wow, nice.
Pero había algo que seguía carcomiéndola por dentro. Era su deseo de venganza. Cuando una tragedia golpea el circo, al que ella ahora llama hogar,
Imagine what he looked like when he was.
Signet, la princesa, mitad náyade, mitad elfa, debe buscar un camino diferente. Solo así podrá saciar su deseo de venganza.
That's so good.
So good. So good.
Cenizas el reino de su hermana.
I don't know what
La
he's.
venganza.
I don't know what he's saying,
Not a
but it's
clue.
so smooth.
Yeah.
Didn't
I
you
want
see
whatever
the
it is.
the English? Didn't you
But
not
hey.
see the English script? The English one?
No.
No.
Okay.
No one did except you.
No, you
And
gave
Ben.
it to me,
I
so
know.
you would have seen
Oh, I
it.
saw
like
it
the
too.
ve-
Okay, so
was
me
it
Yeah,
and
Days
Jen.
of
so
the
he asked
Daughter.
me to translate it into Spanish. So I was sitting there working on it, but I had to have my husband's help a little bit because I was reading like, does this sound right? No, you got to use this other word. So
I would
So-
like to hear the what is that? What was that in English? Can you read it to us?
The vengeance of the
Wait, hold on. We have to pop in here. Pop
It's
in here.
advancing. It's advancing.
Yeah. It's getting there, guys.
Producing color.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is sick.
Yeah.
But I feel like we have some other cool people in the wings here. Yeah, I think we do.
Did Ben
right on
and
there?
did Ben finally show up?
finally show up?
Ben said he's doing some stuff and he'd be here soon. But in the meantime,
Okay. Oops.
why don't we?
No.
Why don't we let me tell my foot story and then you can bounce me?
Okay. All right. This is
Yeah.
Ben and Ryan's opportunity to finally make it. If you make it through this foot story and they don't show up, we got to peace out because
That's fair.
It's getting
No.
it's getting late. I'm about half drunk. Aaron's
Only
here.
Matt is shrinking. Matt's just
Matt's
shrinking
Matt
out of
is-
frame.
Someone needs to add water to Matt.
Matt's got his Macallan. He's fine.
looks so
Matt's
tiny.
fine.
What's on that board, Matt? What's going on there? What is that?
I don't know what's happening.
He's just ahead.
Oh wait, he's
Oh,
frozen.
Oh.
He's frozen.
Oh, is he
That's what it is.
frozen?
Yeah, that's what it
I
is.
don't think he is. I think he's still tiny.
I love
It
that
looks
he's
like
fro- what's
the
that?
whiteboard is
No.
a plan of
No,
war
this is
crimes.
he's just pieced. He's done, and he just screen sharing right now. He took a screen
Yeah,
of himself.
it is
It's
just
like
a
those
Matt head.
glasses that are
Yeah.
wide
I'm
open.
gonna read this. Hold on.
He's standing incredibly
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
I have no idea what's on that whiteboard back there.
A list of war
Well,
war crimes. Yeah. Okay. All right.
in
Tell
any
us your
event,
foot story.
I want to make cool room for all the cool people in the stream who are waiting to come on. So I guess if you don't like anything to do with feet or blood, this would be your time to mute.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm here for it.
No, I know you are. Well, you've seen them, so you know. So I would love to tell the story about the DCCAIT launch, which all of you know from your side, which was that we put this out on the same day of the Bedlam Bride, or I have the Bedlam Bride with Patrick Warburton. It was all incredible. What you might not know is that our release date happened about 2.5 weeks early because Matt and Jeff had like a very cute miscommunication about what end of production meant. So all of a sudden, we were told that both Eye of the Bedlam Bride and episode 1 of the DCCAIT were coming out on September 1st when we were all at Dragon Con, which, if you're a LitRPG fan, you know is one of our biggest events. So I was a little surprised to hear that as a person who was going to be at Dragon Con. And Matt announced to his fans, nope, this is when we're launching. And then this motherfucker had me out dancing until like 4 in the morning. And the next morning I had to get up at 8 to launch all of our announcements for this stuff. And what ultimately happened was, in my state, I dropped my laptop on my feet sideways.
Ow.
Yeah. And
laptops are pretty light these days, though. No.
Oh, I mean, do you want to see?
No.
It's still a thing?
Yeah, no, it is. In fact, I was concerned. Everyone who doesn't like feet is muted, right? Just making sure.
Yeah.
If you're not, this is your warning. So
the feet are never far.
What ultimately happened was, because most of the Marcoms team was with us at Dragon Con, so I'm like, oh yeah, I will personally oversee this announcement after having been out dancing until 4 in the morning.
Because you weren't listening to me when I told you guys
I
to
know.
get back home early. Nobody listens to me.
Babe, you're
They don't
always
listen.
right. You're
I was
always
back on
right. I
time.
know.
Sin
I
is always
know.
right.
Mama Bear.
So instead,
Zombie
what happened
is back on
was,
time and her feet are
yes, Zombie and Sin nailed it. So instead, what happened was I get up to do the DCC launch protocols and drop my laptop on my feet sideways. There were a few days where I thought I might have broken my toes. But now that we're 7 months later, I know that it was just blood blisters. And the way that I know that is
Someone
quite
sucked on it.
gross. No. It's finally grown
Vampires.
out and is leaking.
Oh.
And now, yeah.
Censor
So
warning.
now
Yes.
what's happening with my 2 big toes
Really going out with a
is
bang.
that, yeah, no, I am. Everyone who doesn't like feet is muted, right? So yeah, what ultimately happened thank you. In any event, the part where my laptop fell has since died, but luckily it was only a third on either side. So I have just in the last month, the blood has started to ooze out, but now the toe has broken. So I am dealing with my, partially whole toes. In any event, I think it was worth it. We know it's an AI who loves feet. So I'd like to say thank you and you're welcome. And on that note, I would love to depart to give some space
Thank
to
you for
Ryan.
your sacrifice.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Oh, Ryan.
Ryan, we just played your little Spanish thing.
Yeah, I thought
That's why
that
he
you
came.
I thought you were over at Ben's house.
No, I was going to be, but I with projects going on right now, I was like, no, I'm not gonna go.
Okay. So we have Ryan here. I don't think Ben is going to make it. I think maybe he's been kidnapped by the
A
Italian
Tyrannosaurus
mafia.
Rex or something.
No, I
maybe.
think he's still. Last time I checked, I FaceTimed and he was still crying that I wasn't at his house. but
Oh,
can't win
yeah.
all.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
grill is a
So
mimic.
Ryan, you're gonna be our last little interview, this little tiny interview for today. And again, thank you everybody who's attended. This has been a really well attended live stream, and we've had a very active chat. Thank you guys, everyone who's come here to actually be featured in the stream. Thank you all for just taking a little bit of time out of your day to drink. I hope you were drinking. If you weren't, how dare you?
I showed up drunk.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Good.
jeez.
So you're fine. You have a pass.
Ignore the fact that I was just taking care of kids. I'm kidding.
Okay.
About being drunk or about taking care of kids?
You
decide.
We have one last question before we wrap up, but we have one last interview before that. Ryan, tell us about your experience with your roles on DCC. You are, of course, the announcer for the Vengeance of the Daughter commercial that we just heard earlier.
Vengeance.
So good. You did a great job with that. You played Frank Q.
Mm-hmm.
You played the Rage Elemental.
Mm-hmm.
You played some goblins.
Yep, exactly. I was gonna say, I at the very beginning, the first time you and I talked, even regardless of DCC, I was like, "You got creatures. I want to give them a shot." And you completely fulfilled for this. You were like, "Hey, this is a fucking badger, dude. Do that." I'm like, "Okay, he's an angry badger. Great. Sounds great.
Yes. So happy to have another monster player. Like, I don't know, no one else enjoys playing monsters besides you. And me
You get to layer it. So what people, it's not just like you just sit there and you make a noise and it sounds amazing. You make a noise and then you're like, oh, but it also needs a little bit of this. And you've got like 5 tracks going and it sounds, and then by the end of it, you sound like a dragon or whatever it is.
Sound design with your face.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gosh, it's so fun.
So yeah, tell us about.
They tag team the Rage Elemental as well.
Yeah.
It's-
he was
includes
our
both of their
our
voices.
Chinese finger trap, that Rage Elemental. Yes.
Yeah.
Ryan, tell us a little bit more about your DCC roles.
Okay, so this is the first time that I've done something.
Stop giggling like a child.
I showed up drunk and he showed up high. I got it. I'm caught up now. I'm caught up. I see where we're at.
He's not high. Look at his eyes. That's how you know he's not high.
That's just how they always are.
Did Aaron vanish?
It's the
No,
Asian.
I'm sure he had to use the bathroom or throw up or something.
But no,
We've been planning that all day. He had to drive. Sorry, go ahead.
This getting to do Frank is awesome because it was the first time that I've done work in the audiobook world that someone else has already played the character, and so it was fun to kind of see what you did and then be like, how do I manifest my version, and not like at all, because I didn't try to go for your voice that you did or anything like that, but it was just like, what is this guy, how do I fulfill what's going to make people that, because Matt, your fans are specific and they love they cling on to certain shit. So I'm like, I don't want to step on a landmine, but so it was just really fun to get to interpret it and be this guy that's, going to continue his little trip down the drain. See how, I'm good at breaking down, so I do have a mental one every other weekend. So.
You sure are, honey.
Yes, you are. So Frank, I'm really happy with what you did with Frank. He sounds sufficiently conflicted, but also ready to do what needs to be done. I really dug your performance of him.
Thank you.
And your Vengeance of the Daughter performance, though. Holy shit, the Spanish. You did the Spanish really well. Now, I'm not
Frank
saying
knows
that I know what good Spanish sounds like, but as a person who is easily fooled by it, you did a great job.
I luckily I had 2 oversights. I had Sin give me feedback, and then my roommate was actually born in Santiago, Chile, and he speaks fluent Spanish, and he was like, for a white boy, you did amazing. I was like, you know what? That's what we're going. That's what we're going
No
for.
greater
Thank
compliment.
Yeah. So Ryan is new to the company. He joined up with us last year, right? And he is now heading the cinematic project for Awaken Online. Anyone here who is a LitRPG fan knows what the fuck Awaken Online is. And we are so happy that we have someone as passionate and crazy as Ryan.
I was gonna say I needed the balance there,
to take care of it. You know,
Just a batshit insane person.
Yes.
Yeah, I fit right
absolutely.
in, Emily.
Yes, that's correct. Also, Ryan and I are working on Mimic and Me. He's doing a fantastic job leading that performance, and he's done a really fantastic job of directing me whenever it was necessary for this story. So, Ryan, thank you so much for being a prodigal new kid.
Thank you.
And we will pick on you so hard.
Well,
for
you
the next
already
couple
do.
Years.
Hang on. I mean, yeah. Well, we're not going to stop picking on him, but he has become like an indelible imprint on like a lot of our live events, like not just the cinematic stuff, like just so greatly appreciative of Ryan's presence at this company. He's helped elevate us.
We have
keep
one
going.
request. We have. Oops, sorry.
No.
Not that one. We have one request from the audience. What do you think?
More feet? More feet?
Yes,
Oh.
right. Tell us what you think, babe.
Covered in blood.
I need them Tootsies dirty.
Oh,
that's a bleeding foot. That's
no.
There's not
The
enough.
feet were being washed in this scene.
Oh, you're right.
What is this thing? Okay.
She's right.
Oh, wait,
They're
it's
not
a Super
clean
Bowl ad
yet.
for Jesus.
They're not
This
Yeah,
is
she.
just like
Yeah,
that
we know she's
Jesus
about
Super
to
Bowl
clean
ad.
them.
No, this is just like the Jesus Super Bowl ad.
yeah.
That's exactly what this is like.
She gets us.
Just
All right.
It is.
Hashtag he gets us.
Brilliant. This picture is my Lenten promise.
To lick more feet.
Now sing it like an R&B song.
Okay. All right. All right. So this will be the end of our party. So thank you once again to everybody. Before we go, what is your favorite scene from the Dungeon Crawler Crawl audio immersion tunnel? Matt has already answered this question. He liked the Ball of Swine scene. And if Matt, you can interject at any time if you want to give an honorable mention to anything. But Ahmed.
Oh my God, this is so hard. Oh, there's so much good stuff. There's so much good stuff.
All right, we'll come back to you, Rich.
Yeah, come back to me.
Yeah, come back to me.
Okay, Justin.
It sucked.
I absolutely have a scene in mind. I'm not stalling for time at all.
Do you want me to
Does
go?
anybody have one?
Stalling.
Does anybody have
Yes.
one like off the top of their head?
Yeah, I have
Emily?
one too.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your
Emily
M's?
and Gary.
So for me, it's like an old school vote, but Donut getting her voice is always a favorite for me. I love Carl's reaction and Mordecai too, to a lesser extent, but just like that is such in hindsight, that is such a monumental moment, and I just love the way we do it in the AIT.
Gary, what you got?
I just have to go back to like the scenes I was in that were just so much fun to do, and being the juicer again, having done it freaking years ago, and it was just so much fun to do that scene again. And have it be like, this is gonna make it. Like a friend of mine who hasn't talked to me in years is like, "You're a Dungeon Crawler, Carl." Like, oh yeah.
I have to piggyback right off that because that's my favorite. Was the juicer? That was
Already.
absolutely yes. Thank you for that, dude.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Who does the
you
llama
killed it.
voice noises?
Ryan.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that's
forgot it was
Ryan.
Ryan.
That was pretty good, Ryan.
Thank you.
Good work.
Thank you.
Good work.
I'm really
And-
getting myself a good repertoire.
I think it's not what I expected, but as I'm thinking back, the scene where you meet Frank Q was handled so well. The suspense of all of that leading up to it and the realization, that was an excellently done scene.
I think I know. It's when Dory gets high. When she sniffs the
Yeah.
meth, when she snorts the meth,
Which is always so fun in real life
and
as well.
she saunters over and she's like, "Hey,
I'm so sad that Dory's not here.
Really quickly, not to be bossy, but is there anyone? I know we have like such a huge team that was so excited to come out tonight. Is there anyone who's waiting in the wings who hasn't perhaps gotten on the screen?
Oh yeah, let me.
That you could bump me
bringing
for?
I'm-
just drop me. Good night,
Okay.
friends. Thank you for
Good night,
everything.
friend.
Good night, Emily.
Nick. We almost
Ew.
forgot you, brother. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I noticed.
Real quick, tell us how much of a pain in the ass it was to work with me and the script.
It was an impressive amount of a pain in the ass because I originally was working from your notes and basically dumping it into a Word document because you had marked up a PDF and we needed something that was a little more flexible and could be edited. And I got, I think, 3 episodes into that. And then you were like, hey, you know that new idea you had about working in Excel? Why don't we transition to that? So then I had to try to figure out how to dump the stuff I already did in Word into Excel in the middle of the project.
Oh my God. I do not envy anyone who has to interpret my handwriting.
It's a challenge.
Well,
Can
thankfully,
we talk about that a
most of it was color-coded highlighting, so I didn't have to read much of what you wrote, so that did help.
Right
But
on.
I wanted to, while I had a chance, I wanted to give my answer about what scene I like best. And actually, as sad as I am to admit it, I actually haven't listened to the audio immersion tunnel at all yet because I'm in the middle of listening to the Wheel of Time with my mom. I made a deal with her to do that, so all my free time is going to that. But
That's a deal with the devil right there.
Yeah, especially as bad as it is, they have so many issues. But in listening to the original, which I did in the lead up to working on the script, because I figured that would help me to have more exposure to it, the scene where Carl throws all the stuff in to take out the, goblin boss, and Donut's like, oh yeah, we killed a bunch of kids, and Carl's like, oh my God, what do you mean it was full of and Donut was like, yeah, it's full of kids. Who cares? And that dichotomy between the two, not dichotomy, contrast between the two of them where she's
The
just
AI
borderline
afterwards.
sociopath and he still
Yeah.
can't be like, this isn't real. I need to get used to just doing whatever it takes to stay alive, I think is optimal.
Yeah, I think that's maybe not just me, but that was when I was so on board with the series. That was like, I was like, I couldn't believe how much I loved that scene. So thank you, Matt, for that particular thing. That hooked me on my eyelid and just yanked me in. I was like, I'm forever melted to this story because of these movies.
The most rage quitting I've gotten, like angry messages, is from that one scene. And the hoarder scene happens before that, and that's worse, I think. But
yes.
Yeah, you're doing good writing when you can make people super angry with something that happened off screen.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, you got to tell them what you can expect, right? So that it's like,
Right.
hey, book 3, there might be some of this, so let's get it out of the way now.
Yeah,
Set the bar here.
A lot of people are angry at stuff that happened in the most recent book too. So.
Do we have any more people
Never
ready
ends.
to volunteer their favorite scene? I think we just need Rich.
Yeah, I gotta say the motorcycle chase with the rage elemental.
Oh,
that was a
That
lot of
was
fun to work
so
on.
well done. The
It was
music
just like so
amazing.
like fucking crazy and like so much shit was going on and like having to figure it out and it was great.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot to think about what my favorite scene is.
What about Aaron?
Aaron, what is your favorite scene from the Dungeon Crawler Carl audio immersion tunnel?
I was hoping that since I was in your window, you wouldn't realize that I was here.
It almost worked too.
It wouldn't.
Pesky kids.
Okay. Either honestly, it's such a classic gag, but the fake out donut death.
Yes. Okay, so that's the end of
the juicer fight.
Juicer scene. Yeah. My mortal coil. What was it?
Is shed.
Is shed.
I came in with a little score action for that one. I really enjoyed
dude,
it.
your score for that was so beautiful. So good. Man. Okay. I'm gonna have to go with the Rage Elemental scene too. You know, there was so much adrenaline in that. And I love the way that the entrance to the hallway was handled. You know, the way that the Rage Elemental, like, whenever it would try to jump into the room and then dissolve, the sound effects were dealt with so well there, but like the intensity of the music, the way that it built up and everything. It even just like, to me, it was a surprise because the scene played out differently in my head, but it played out better in the audio immersion tunnel. So, grievously injured in Beatle. Okay, anyone who doesn't know that pronunciation of battle, I stole that from Labyrinth. From Sir Didymus.
Sir Didymus!
Yeah.
Huzzah!
That's a nice.
Is that a liquid A?
Beatle.
The Beatle.
Beatle.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So, all right. So that is it for our party. Thank you guys one more time so much for checking this out. If you have not listened to the audio immersion tunnel by now, I don't know what the fuck you're doing here, but you might as well go check it out now. Because the first episode is free, and I know you're gonna get addicted. That's why drug dealers do it this way. So, there you go. Pick up episode 1. You will be hooked. You will pick up the rest of the season. We have officially announced today, even though we don't have an actual release date, more of the Jedi mind trick. No release date yet announced. But season 2 is coming. It will be a combination of books 2 and 3. And Ben Wolf, who's not here, who, you know, I'm going to go pluck my pubes now and cry in the bathroom because he's not here.
I'm gonna leave.
Standard
I'm
reaction.
quitting. Consider this my 2 week.
You know, it'll happen. He's gonna continue. We're looking for somebody else maybe to put on the writing team. That'll be announced later. And yeah, it's gonna happen. We're probably gonna involve Kickstarter in some way. We'll see what Kickstarter has to offer us before we actually make it happen. But that's it. Thank you guys so much.
Well,
this has been an awesome party.
Couple things.
Ahmed has some things to say.
Titania made it, and I believe that Titania may have a scene a favorite scene that she may have. Titania, you there?
I am.
Now, Titania also works with us in the treehouse, and she helps us, vet new releases. Yeah.
Also, I was in the book.
That's right.
Titania was another voice in the Rage Elemental, if I'm not mistaken.
I did.
No. It was the Crack Karen.
I was part of the Crack Karen and in the crowd for Odette and.
Yes.
And for
Glurp.
The
Maestro.
Glurp crowd as well. What's your favorite scene?
Well, I feel bad about not picking one that I'm in for my favorite, so I'm going to go with Odette. But no, seriously, honestly, the very beginning where Carl is desperately trying to catch Donut, I just felt like we really nailed the grumpy man trying to catch his cat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Emily is saying don't log out. Ben is coming, but like, Ben.
My gosh, Ben,
come on now. We're at 2 hours, dude.
We've been waiting for him forever.
I saw a new block.
There's a new block. There he is. There he is.
Wait,
what? All right.
No, it's
Borant Field Correspondent. Wait.
Is he really? He's not here. But let's check it on Zombie's drawing.
Hell yeah.
Look at this. It's coming together. He's in hell.
Hell yeah.
Technically, it's Empress's heaven. Technically.
Wait, did we lose? We lost the FA.
Just leave that up. I'm gonna turn
You
my
lost me for
camera
a
off for
second.
no specific reason.
There's no Ben.
Just
no Ben.
You could leave that up there though.
Emily was lying to us.
Speaking
Ben
of,
could not
when
make
are we getting an HR department?
Never. Do you want this?
Okay,
do you
cool.
want this
Do you want this
company
to
to
keep
go
going?
down in flames?
Do you want this to keep going?
When someone sues us and we have to, there you go.
There you go.
Emily says she has a comment. Let her in.
Oh, okay. Come in, Emily.
Oh, wait, no, hang on.
There's no Ben.
Hi. No, Ben's coming. He just told me 30 seconds.
It's
No,
been
I
30
just wanted
seconds.
to react.
how long
I
it
just
takes
wanted to react to the HR comments and to say,
Okay.
is that something we really want?
No.
Really?
No.
No one.
No.
No.
Nope.
No.
No one.
You did
No.
a fine job.
Yeah.
Actually,
Ben!
that's the only reason I've never gotten in my booth to live stream is I'm terrified of what I'll accidentally say in the live stream for like 30 people.
There's a reason
I've
all
heard
of the booths are put to 18 plus.
Okay, we've been promising everybody that we're gonna leave though.
Ben says he's coming. Ben says he's coming.
He's not coming.
Yeah.
Though. He's
Oh,
lying.
Ben's
They are lying.
here, but there's too many people.
Yeah,
so I'm
Ben's
kicking
coming. He's
somebody
edging
out.
us.
Come on, Ben. Come on, this guy. I
He was
never
there.
talked to him in my life. Come on,
Ryan,
Ben.
you mean you're too afraid to
Who
live
are you?
direct Jeff on how to handle his box?
No, that comes easy. That comes easy, baby.
Wow.
Is there enough room for
What
Ben?
an
Some mimicking
Gary's
me
saying
joke
that
in
he
case
has
anyone
to
didn't
go.
You can kick me
Ahmed.
after Ben.
Gary,
Gary,
thank you so much
Take
for
care.
coming.
Bye, Gary.
Cheers, Gary.
Good one, everyone.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
Ate logo.
Is that damn, that's sexy.
Excellent exit.
I don't see a Ben. I don't see a
Opticals.
goddamn Ben here.
Guys, I have to get going.
Okay, Matt. Matt is
Matt.
going. Everybody,
Matt.
you guys are awesome.
Bye,
But
Matt.
Matt hates him, so
Bye.
he's going. Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
See you, Matt.
Bye, Matt.
Matt.
Goodbye to the angel with the.
Where's
devil
this Ben?
imagination.
This mythological
Oh,
Ben.
Ben.
He says he's in the queue.
No,
Lawrence.
I hope he gets in just so we can say,
Try
where have
again,
you
Ben.
been?
Try
Yeah.
again, Ben. Let's just
Where
all
have you
yell at him
been?
and then end the stream.
Exactly.
Carl Jordan says, I feel like Emily is crying wolf.
What's
up, guys?
Correspondent made it.
Oh, Ben, we've been waiting
Sorry
and
for the delay.
waiting.
Oh, you know how it is. The wife made delicious food. I had to eat it.
You should have
Here we go.
ate it on the live stream.
Yeah, we could
Exactly.
have watched you.
Like a bunch of others
Watching
of us
the
did.
whole time.
There's still time for me to eat it on the live stream. This
Okay.
could go horribly
Yes.
wrong. So-
Okay.
I'm just here. You're gonna kill it.
All right,
I'm
we're-
just here to speak to the person who said I was crying wolf and to say that I presented you with a wolf.
Yeah.
So
Well, okay.
That was
eat
The
it.
timing was
It this close.
perfect.
It was this close. It was perfect. Okay, so we're gonna ask you some questions, and then we're gonna end the live stream. Ben,
It's like the fourth or fifth time we've said this. now.
what has it been like? Ben like. What has it
Ben,
been
like.
writing for the Dungeon Crawler Carl audio immersion tunnel.
I mean, everybody says it's like it's a dream come true to work on this project, but actually it was pretty fucking awful. No, I'm kidding. It was great. It was absolutely great. No, I loved it. Don't fire me. No, it was so cool. I was super excited about. That is a really interesting picture, by the way.
Okay, there's a lot
I
of
was-
context. Could you provide your feedback to the drawing?
I said it needed
Provide
to be
my
weird.
feedback for the drawing.
Zombie's the one drawing it before you give your feedback.
Your feedback.
That's wild.
Yeah. What do you think,
Yeah.
Ben? What do you think of the drawing? Before your speech?
Is that Daenerys Targaryen going
Yes,
after
100%.
Carl's feet? Okay.
Yep.
Well, now we know who the Queen of the Dragons really is.
Ooh.
And it's Princess Donut, of course. The audio immersion tunnel for me was absolutely fantastic. It was super fun. I had a blast writing. It was all great. Don't get me wrong. My highlights were definitely writing that Quasar commercial for the last episode. It was just very cathartic for me. Because growing up, you see all these awesome lawyer commercials for ambulance chasers and stuff, and so just being able to capture that and give it to an existing character who's so beloved in the series, despite not having a lot of screen time, that was really, really something special for me. And it's the commercial that people consistently reference as being their favorite. So I'm really, really honored to have been a part of that, especially the last line of the commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for context for everyone at home, Ben is our Make-A-Wish hire.
It's true. It's true.
He has a few months, and we're gonna milk him for what he's worth until he, goes
straight from the teats. Yeah.
Right. And if you regret, or if you refuse to accept Ryan's sob story, which I don't know why you would, Ben is the incredibly talented writer who helped us adapt this into the AIT phenomenon that it's become.
Exactly. So, Ben.
Very kind. Thank you. Except for Ryan, you're an ass.
How did Shrek and Jegbarth come about?
Shrek and Jegbarth. You and I, Jeff, were talking about this while we were waiting to pick up Ryan Reed from the train station in Kansas City.
What a mistake!
For a visit. One year ago, almost a year ago, it was the weekend before Planet Comic-Con, and that's coming up again. We were sitting in the train station waiting because I think Ryan's train was delayed, not a ton, but like 30 minutes or so. And he was texting us, keeping us informed. We may also want to tell the Ryan origin story of how he got connected to SBT at some point too. But anyway, we were sitting there, and I had been marinating on this idea for a while, kind of letting it percolate. And the idea, there's a video from inside the NBA or whatever show that Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley are on, where they're fooling around like in their mock basketball court, and at one point Charles Barkley hip checks Shaq so hard, and it was like a Christmas episode. He hip checks him so hard that Shaq like disappears into the giant Christmas tree that's on set. So if you haven't seen it, go look it up because it is absolutely fantastic. But that just like that kind of manic energy really inspired me to like say, well, why don't we like go for an inside the NBA type thing here and see if we can DCCify it to make it appropriate for the world. And so Shrek is pretty much a direct rip-off of Shaq, and Jegbarth is Charles Barkley. And Julian and Justin did a phenomenal job bringing them to life in ways that I couldn't even imagine that they would be able to do it. They riff off each other so well, and obviously I provided a lot of dialogue, but they took it and they ran with it even beyond what I wrote for the AIT, and it was
You're not
super
giving
fun
yourself
'cause
enough credit.
You
We were
could tell.
talking
Well,
about this
they brought it
earlier.
to life.
You
Yeah.
really did
No,
capture that.
fine,
Because
yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I did watch that Christmas tree scene. I had never seen that before. I saw that. There's a scene there's a comment where Shrek's trying to get them to turn off Barkley's lights. And that was in there, and so you really captured their banter.
I tried.
Well,
I watched so
and
many
Justin's
clips from that
feedback
show.
should mean a lot, but as the only person who actually watches NBA commentary, I want to tell you that you've nailed it.
Okay. Hey, thank you, Emily. I appreciate that.
Well, I think that the AIT was a resounding success. Thank you, everybody,
Agreed.
for listening, for purchasing, for pre-ordering. Thank you all for being our pushers and gifting the first
Ahmed, are you-
episode, which is free, to anyone who you think deserves to listen to it. Thank you, everybody, one more time for attending this party, both in the audience and here in the stream. Thank you for all your hard work, for making this thing such an amazing production. And you know what? I cannot wait for season 2, which is officially announced today. We are gonna do it.
Woo!
So it's probably not gonna release this year. It's probably gonna release next year, but it's because it's gonna be twice as long as season 1. So we have to work hard as fuck on this thing, but we have lots of assets that we've already got started. We know all the pain points from the last production, so we're going to correct all that, a lot of that stuff. Probably not all of it. We're going to correct a lot of that stuff for the next season.
We want a little pain, right, Jeff?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little pain to keep us honest.
Just a little twist.
But let me make my douchey plug for a second. All of our updates come first via our newsletter. So if you head to our website and head down to the footer, you can subscribe and you can be the first to know when
Speaking
season
of
2 is
footer.
coming out.
Yeah.
Oh
Let's get
no!
one last glimpse
What,
at those
Justin?
tootsies.
What?
Well, how about we get it to Quasar? Let's listen to Quasar.
Yeah, let's end on the Quasar commercial.
Yes.
Ooh, all right.
The insurance company just said they're not going to pay our claim. Oh, hell, they won't. Call it Quasar.
Quasar Law!
Little Billy fell into the food synthesizer at school!
Again? I've had enough. We're gonna sue the shit out of his parents. I'm calling Quasar.
Oh, shit. I'm blitzed out of my mind, and I just crashed my hover bus into a convent.
Hey, you're going to jail, lady.
Fuck, I am. I'm gonna walk, you'll see. I'm calling Quasar.
Okay, but you're still going to jail, dumbass.
Wherever you are in the galaxy, chances are good someone's gonna try to fuck up your shit. And when that happens, you're gonna need my help because you're too fucking stupid to figure it out on your own.
Too stupid!
You bought some fancy lotion from a startup, but now your skin's falling off your face in huge brown clumps.
Disgusting!
Call Quasar and I'll sue the bastards for every last credit. We'll get your medical bills covered, money for pain and suffering, and a little bit of walking around cash. You're gonna need it if you want any tail, ugly as you are now.
Look away, children!
Your job's withholding your pay over some bullshit that has nothing to do with you? Fuck 'em!
Fuck 'em!
Call Quasar and I'll get you 100% of what those cockmunchers owe you.
It's not really 100 because we take some too.
Got pinched for visiting the local whorehouse and now the wife wants out? Good! You deserve better anyway!
She's just like her mother but won't admit it!
Call Quasar and
My
I'll help you
favorite
divorce
line.
that bitch. And I'll make sure you get the kids, the house, the vehicle, and you'll keep your retirement fund.
Except we're prohibited by law!
Bottom line, you live in a fucked up galaxy and you need someone to unfuck your life for you. That someone is me.
We're calling
Quasar! Call 1-800-UNFUCK-ME today for your not-so-free consultation. And remember, if someone wants to mess with you, you send me after them, and I'll put them over the barrel instead. And I won't use lube.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my god, amazing!
Oh, man.
And the image looks incredible. It's really popping right now. Like that
Popping.
saliva is just horrific and
Yeah, it's
so skilled.
it's so
yeah.
awful. In a
You
Saturday
guys are
morning
amazing.
cartoon kind of way.
Thank you so much.
Everyone.
Party
Thank
over.
you, everyone.
Don't